7 investigator Teresa Marchetta getting a first-hand look at how volatile the business of hash oil production can be.
You know, most of us had never even heard of hash oil before pot became legal in Colorado, let alone understand why people keep getting blown up trying to make it. The videos are all over the internet, but we wanted to see for ourselves what's igniting this dangerous trend.
We're going to show you guys how it's done real quick. How to make some hash oil.
This is our simulated extraction tube that would be typically packed with cannabis. We're using this butane canister as our butane source.
Lift up the butane can a little bit. Don't put any butane in it.
And then we're going to dump liquid butane in for a certain period of time.
So I can feel it get cold in my hand right here.
All right, is everyone ready and clear?
Right on top of the pot.
Ignition on 3, 2, 1, mark.
If it's not done correctly, it can be extremely dangerous.
Experts at Advanced Engineering Investigations safely demonstrating the dangers of making hash oil.
I just said, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do?
Dangers Wayne Winkler learned about in a very painful way.
And it was an explosion in my face, over my hands, and my hands literally melted off in one instant. And I'm burning alive.
Cooking marijuana at home is no amateur science experiment.
I had no skin on my fingers to even dial my phone.
Winkler says he agreed to make hash oil for a friend. That was more than a year ago, but it feels like yesterday.
And it was the worst pain of my life in one instant.
And I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg. I don't think that these problems are going to stop anytime soon.
Sergeant Jim Gerhardt says Colorado law enforcement is tracking an increase in hash oil explosions over the last few years. Most dramatically, he says, since medical and recreational pot became legal here.
We're going to continue to see this for quite some time, unfortunately.
Oh, that did not just happen.
It actually happens a lot. In the past few months alone, multiple explosions across the metro, some with deadly consequences. From Longmont to Littleton, Aurora to Leadville. 1 in Thornton and 3 in Denver just within the last few weeks. And Gerhardt says in most cases, it's all perfectly legal.
Well, if a person damages somebody else's property through one of these explosions, then certain arson charges might apply. If you endanger a child, then that becomes a felony form of child abuse. But beyond that, there's not a whole lot that really prevents people from doing this.
Zach Jason and John Schumacher are forensic engineers.
What's the concentration, Zach?
About 60% LEL.
They investigate chemical fires and explosions across the country.
This is our explosion chamber.
The Call 7 investigators asked them to replicate a hash oil explosion to show how easily butane can ignite.
What you're going to see here is a lot more fire. It's not going to be as energetic.
And how the explosion becomes more intense, greater the concentration of butane vapors in the area.
This chamber's designed to vent straight up. Now imagine if you're inside a room that's filled with butane at that concentration, there'd be typically a lot more gas in there, same concentration, but more gas. You ignite that, you'll have a bigger overpressure, a bigger explosion.
In 2014, we've already seen 10 in only 4 months.
Nurse Cammie Boyle says the hash oil injuries she's treated at University of Colorado Hospital's burn center are traumatic and life-changing.
So we're really on track to almost triple the amount of admissions we'll see with this injury this year.
Wayne was one of her first cases.
All of the burns are very deep, so I think the majority of them required some type of surgical intervention.
The worst experience of my life, but the best care possible.
He says it's that care that gave him the courage to tell his story and bear the emotional and physical scars of this horrific experience.
And now this year, I'm doing this interview because I don't want anybody else to get burned up, burned alive, maybe save someone's life.
Oh my God!
Don't ever do this. Don't ever do this.
Now, there's debate about whether it's legal for people who aren't licensed to even make hash oil for personal use. Some jurisdictions say it is, but the Arapahoe County District Attorney has several pending cases, so ultimately, judges may be deciding this one. We'll keep you posted. I'm Call 7 investigator Teresa Marchetta.